Hey guys, and welcome back to the Blue Podcast. Today we have Rue's debut ship as probably the wrong word as an interviewer today because we have Anya today. How you doing?
Hello, I'm doing good. How are you?
I'm very good, very good. Looking forward to the podcast. Do you want to tell our audience a bit about what you do? It's always easier when the person who does it explains it.
Yeah, sure. So I'm a musician and a content creator. I'm an artist. My kind of field is like rock metal. What I do is I'm trying to like bring elements of like rock and metal and pop together. And I do quite a lot of stuff within content creation as well. So I do quite a lot of covers online. I'm quite active on Instagram and TikTok. So yeah, that's mostly my field.
Well, recently you joined a band.
Oh
if
yeah,
I'm not
that as
mistaken.
well.
How's that going?
Yeah, it's been going really well. So very recently I got contacted by a band called You Over Me, and they've been kind of in the game for a bit now. I think they've been together for a good few years already, and they needed a new guitarist, so they hit me up. And it was pretty sick. We had a gig in the O2 Academy in Islington last week.
Oh damn, that's pretty
pretty mad.
big.
Yeah, no, it was crazy. They just messaged me and they were like, "Yo, I know this is like a first gig, but we've managed to land this." And I was like, yeah.
So that was your first gig for the band, was in O2 Academy?
Yeah, we had 2 rehearsals and then we were up. That's it.
How did that come about? Because obviously you've got to like speak to loads of people. Like,
Oh, so it's been so social media based for me because I've been like primarily focusing on that for the last 4 years probably now. When my account started doing well, I had a lot of people just find me. I try and stay active looking in my DM requests, and it just popped up pretty much.
That's crazy.
So
That's cool.
That is the power of social media, isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah. And who you know, I
yes.
guess.
It's so who you know,
literally.
But I mean, I guess that kind of comes with the social media part. It's like they don't necessarily know you, but they know of you because of that social media presence that you've garnered over these years. And then obviously they reached out, and I guess hopefully the rest is history with that.
Yeah, pretty much. I'm officially in the band now, so it's pretty sick. We're gigging pretty regularly, probably at least a couple times a month going forward. So yeah, it's been pretty sick. It's been a good opportunity.
Now, is that with a label or anything, or is that just self-promoted?
At the moment, it's independent, but we are keeping our eyes peeled because I think, especially since we played that gig in the O2 Academy, there definitely are some people that have been, in contact with us, and we're just keeping options open and just seeing what comes by.
Okay,
but
fair enough. But you have you ever been with a label before?
I haven't been with a label just yet. Part of that reason is because I'm only really starting properly releasing from this year.
Yeah.
So I've been so focused on building the audience first and the social media stuff, and then obviously my next step is then the releasing part, and then if labels and stuff come up, then I'll consider them. But I am very cautious. I'm it needs to be the right deal.
Yeah. It needs to be right for you, as much as it's got to be right for them as well. You know what I mean?
Absolutely, yeah.
100%.
Yeah. And is there a particular reason for you being particularly cautious around it?
So there's quite a lot of depth to all of this. So there's a lot of stuff in the music industry. There's been some horror stories I've heard with labels before.
What? Any in particular?
I guess I've seen some stuff online, and basically the gist of it is there are some labels which are quite in it for the money. So a lot of label deals, they'll take 75% of what you make from music. Yes.
Oh,
that's
That took you a bit of time to process that.
I was like, 75? That sounds like quite a lot, isn't it?
It's a lot.
God.
There's quite a lot. So basically the way that it works is, they will give you a grant of money or a loan of money, basically. They won't call it a loan, but it kind of is a loan.
Yeah.
In the sense that, they'll give you, I don't know, if you're starting out maybe 10, 20k on working on some releases. And the idea is that you need to kind of make that money back in that percentage of the 75%. So they get their money back or make more almost.
Right.
That's a lot of money to make first
that's
off.
Crazy,
yes.
Yeah. They give you 20 grand for your first ever record, and then they expect you to make it back just like that. So it's not really how it works, is it? But
No.
So that's how people can get kind of
Spotify,
stuffed.
10p every year.
Yeah. That's ridiculous.
So yeah, that's how people can get stuffed because obviously I'm not saying that all labels are like this because it's not true, but I have seen artists and bands online talk about their experiences and basically just say they've been in a position where they can't make that money back because it's unrealistic, because that if you're given 10, 20k, that can go very quickly, and we're not talking about just promotion. That will go on music videos, release budget. Some of it will go on the marketing and promotion side, but it's not going to be enough, generally speaking, unless you proper blow up to make that money back. You can get stitched up with them.
Is that almost why you're trying to build that audience first, so that if a label does come along offering maybe not that specific amount, but a similar vein of it, hopefully less than 75, and like you have that audience already to then hopefully blow up a lot quicker.
That's exactly it. So the idea is that I don't think that labels are a good way of starting out, but then when you look at anyone who is established in the music industry, 99% of the time they're signed to a label. So the idea is that if you have that recognition already and people know who you are, you have the following, you're kind of guaranteed that you're going to be able to make back the money that they loan to you. So you're not in a position where you need to worry as much. And also, if you did quit, you know, if you cancel the contract, however that works with that contract, you're not in a position where, you know, you either can't pay the money back or, you know, you still can support yourself off of your music.
Yeah.
So
fair enough. When you blew up on social media, I do remember it happening.
yeah.
Kind of, I know there was a specific video that helped, and then was it kind of, because what I've seen with a lot of influencers or even YouTubers or whatever, is that one video will blow up, but because you had a back catalogue of stuff already there, did that help kind of, then more people found that video, and then more people found the other video, and then it just kind of all...
Yeah, exactly. It was exactly like that. I was really lucky that prior to the video that blew up, I did get some content out that I was actually very happy with, that I'd really sat down and focused on, like, you know, getting the recording good and the video good. So then when people found me from the video that blew up, you know, they saw my other content, and then they were like, you know, if they're interested, then they would follow me, and that's kind of what set off that domino effect.
Nice. So when you blew up, what sort of, like, how did you react to it? Because obviously it's quite a...
Oh my God.
Everybody's always like, you want it to happen, don't you? But
So...
and then it just sort of, it happens. You can never predict it. So
No.
like,
Yeah, it's hilarious because it was literally the least predictable
Literally,
video that I thought would
everybody
blow
says
up.
that.
It was so stupid.
Yeah.
Like, I posted this trend, which was like, it literally was just not. I wasn't even playing music. That's the stupidest part of it. I was
that's so annoying. As well.
I was with my guitar. I was sat with my guitar. Took like a 5-second video of a few shots of, you know, me trying to look pretty with my guitar, and I put some text over the screen with an audio that did not belong to me, fully credited, and I just put it was a trend people were doing saying, "Congrats, you've just found a small creator that's, you know, still small enough to respond to all the comments."
I saw that. Yeah, that's the only one I saw that popped up without following you. So that's
Yeah, because
crazy,
I think
isn't
it sat on like 3.5 million views at the moment.
I see. So like, forgive me. You're like it popped off. I was like, I don't know if you're talking like tens of thousands of views. 3.5 million.
3.5
views.
Yeah, I've since then I've had a couple like videos that have broken 1 million views, but this was on Instagram. So like,
I've been doing this for 4 years.
Damn. Yeah, maybe
Like-
stop posting. Maybe just do a non-podcast post. and
Yeah.
it'll
Maybe I should just
Just
pretend to be like posing with a guitar. I don't know. I'm struggling.
This is why it's not, you haven't picked it up.
Why?
Because you make silly jokes like, I should pose with a guitar. I don't think that's gonna work, Tommy. Seriously.
Hey, no, I'm happy with what I'm doing. Yeah. Anyway, Anya.
no, you're fine.
But yeah, as kind of Ruth said, what was that like feeling of when it did blow up, which it fucking did?
Were you awake whilst it was blowing up, or was it like an overnight
Yeah,
thing?
I was.
But you were
so-
awake for it.
Yeah, so I
must be-
started
that's
to notice
weird.
it.
Yeah, you're
normally
like,
normally people fall asleep. Like normally it's like you post something one day and then
Yeah.
you fall asleep and then you wake up and it's just gone.
Yeah.
So basically,
Overnight,
I
you're right.
think that happens more on TikTok. So TikTok, in my opinion, I think Instagram's a more valuable platform and a better
agree
way
with
to
that.
sustain
I agree with that.
fans. So I did prior to this, about half a year before, you know, the Instagram video blowing up. That was in January. Half a year before that, I think it was like August or something, I had my first 1 million view video on TikTok. I did not react in the same way as Instagram. When Instagram did that, like, it was gradual. So for instance, like the video, it just kind of trended a bit to begin with, like it was nothing crazy. And then I think it was like after like 4 or 5 days of it being out, which is crazy, it just something picked up in the algorithm.
Yeah.
And then firstly, I was like, oh shit, this thing's on like 100K. Oh shit, it's on 500,000. What the fuck? It just
Still
kept.
going, yeah.
I don't know. Am I allowed to swear in here?
You're allowed to swear.
Okay, cool.
I think Holly beeps them in the first 10 minutes, so you're all good.
Nice.
Because on average, I think our average view is about 5 to 10
Okay, I'll try
minutes.
not to
So
go.
no. So you're fine now.
Okay, cool,
You're
cool,
fine now.
cool.
Yeah. Absolutely.
But yeah, no, it was
I have had
crazy.
people literally just start absolutely effing and jeffing after they find that out. But yeah, it's fine.
Jesus. But yeah, no, the feeling of when that video started to hit in the algorithm, because I remember actually at the peak of it being in the algorithm, I don't remember how much the views trended, but what I do remember was the following going up. So
you got follow. You got
Was
more
the
followers from it. As
follows?
well.
Is it follows
Oh my
from real?
God.
Follows from real. Follows from real.
Yeah,
follows
yeah,
from
yeah,
real.
yeah,
Just
yeah.
like that.
And like on one day, I gained 8,000 followers in one day. I was like, what? For Instagram, that was
That's more than we
wild.
have followers.
But the thing is, okay, let me put this in perspective. no, I don't know.
And
But,
subscribers. Oh god. Anyway,
but no.
All platforms
I
combined.
think it might be about all platforms combined.
times 2.
No.
Yeah, I'm joking.
Fuck you. You're part of the channel now. What are you? You're taking the piss out of yourself at this point.
Yeah, it's called Banter.
Yeah. Actually, have you been on? Is any of your? Sorry, this is a bit tangent.
you're
but
fine. You're fine.
Have any of your videos actually been released yet?
No.
So actually, you haven't. As of this recording, you've not been debuted on the channel.
Sunday the 20.
Should be this Sunday.
30th or something.
30th of
whatever the last day of June is.
I think it's 30th.
That's when it's going to be out. So.
Yeah. But I mean, it will already
Watch
be
it.
out. It will already be out when this.
Will it?
It'll already be out when this airs.
Oh yeah, it will have been out.
Yeah.
it's like the Graham Norton show. They film it the day before.
Yeah.
And someone's like, "God, what a lovely Thursday." No, it's Friday. It's Friday. you pretend it's the day that it's coming out. Yeah.
Yeah. Well.
Yeah.
But yes, I mean, I can only relate with the Instagram one. We've had one hit 50,000,
That's good. That's
which
really
was
good.
nice, and it was of me as well. So yeah.
Very nice.
Considering it's a group
He doesn't
channel.
care about the likes, about the podcast. It just gives him an ego boost.
It doesn't. That's so unfair.
The fact that you just went, it was about me as well.
No, but it's like it's a nice feeling if your podcast does well and you're the person talking in the clip.
Yeah, of course. There's a
Like,
little.
like if Henry,
It's
if for example,
bragging
if it was Henry doing that, I'll be like, oh, it's really good. Fucking Henry though. He's
Well, there you
you
go.
might see him later.
Nice.
He's one of our co-hosts.
What a lovely thing to say. Like
Yeah, I
your
know.
co-hosts.
But I love him.
Yeah. Fucking voice crack. That was Jesus Christ.
And
Sorry.
this is why we're not popping off. Anyway.
Yeah. Anyway, so I actually had a question as well, just backtracking a bit to
Mhm.
the band that you're in. So before you told us that you're a guitarist, I was going to ask you if you play like any other instruments, like in
Yeah.
your, as a singer, as an artist. Do you play any other instruments like for yourself, or is this like hobby? Like outside of it?
Yeah. So I think singing and playing guitar is my main thing.
Yeah.
And then I can play. I'm pretty good at piano. Like I was classically trained. That's the only instrument I've been trained in.
Same, yeah.
And then bass and drums I can do a bit, but my timing is questionable on those instruments. So those ones are more for fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Drums is always, the timing is so
It's hard.
important.
Have you seen Whiplash?
Yes.
Yeah.
Great movie.
Very good.
Really
film.
good movie.
Very good movie. He's
Yeah.
a bit of a movie buff.
Just a bit.
Just a bit.
I'm a nerd.
You literally joined our nerdiest show
Yeah.
and decided to now do interviews.
Yeah. Well, I thought, hey, look, we'll branch out, have a little chat, see what's popping off.
See if you like it or not.
Yeah, it's really interesting to do that. Yeah.
You do like your music, to be fair.
I do like my music. I've got a lot of random playlists that I should probably trim/delete
Why?
because it's just got so many playlists. And I'm
Do you have
just
the
like,
same?
I'm literally the same.
it's just silly. Like I've just got so many, and some of them, like I'll have a playlist that has got 50 songs in. Actually, no, that's what I do. I have a couple of massive playlists with like 500 songs in, and then I branch out a little bit and go more specific with like a playlist with like 50 of my favourite from the big playlist. I'm like, I don't need to do that. Do you know what I mean? Just press shuffle, or just don't be
Skip.
lazy and cue the songs
Or
yourself.
just skip them if you don't want it on.
Yeah. But I'm like, no, I like to have curated playlists. I've got like
Mm.
stupid names for all of them as well. So I've got like a film soundtrack playlist. It's called Get the Popcorn. And then my playlist with all my favourite songs in it
Yeah.
from that playlist is called I've Got the Popcorn.
Oh my god.
Okay, wait. The real question is though, do you have a sex playlist?
No comment.
Yes, he does. Yes, he does.
Mate, Lionel Richie. It's just Lionel.
Yeah, yeah. Actually, can I just? I have one called L as well. I just want to see what's on it. Because I'm pretty sure. Do you have one?
Yeah.
Can we find out who's on it?
Oh fuck no.
Come on now. If we're all revealing.
No,
Your
my
phone's
phone's not even in.
outside.
My
Oh,
phone's
your
not
phone's
even in here.
outside.
So oh no.
Mine's got Starship by Nicki Minaj. Just 100 times. That's a joke. That's a joke. Of course it doesn't, mate. Like, imagine that.
I
Imagine
got
that.
Marvin Gaye, obviously.
That's Marvin Gaye.
No,
I know
the
that's-
actual
I know
Marvin
that's
Gaye.
not
Fuck.
John, I know that.
Teddy Pendergrass. And lots of Marvin Gaye. Barry White, Lionel Richie, Diana Ross.
I don't think you'll know the people on mine, to be fair.
Anita Baker, and yeah, Minnie Riperton. Some good songs there.
Angels by Robbie Williams in there as well.
I think you're being serious with that one.
Actually, not. I'm not reveal. I don't want to reveal. Yeah, I mean, pretty much.
So
the
why
same
why
stuff,
wouldn't
yeah.
we? Is your sex place a little bit different to what we've just said?
We wouldn't understand it.
Yeah, I think so. No, there's some questionable stuff in there. I think I don't know.
What's the tempo with this one?
I'm not gonna lie. It's like
Is it just heavy metal?
there's some metal
It's
in
like
it.
sex
Some metal.
There is some
My sex
metal in
playlist
it.
is just one song.
30 seconds long.
That's all you need, is it?
Yeah.
So you've got.
I don't get past the intro guitar riff. Sorry, that's also a joke. Please don't quote me on that.
It's definitely not a show. Anyway,
Please don't quote that.
so you have metal on yours.
Yes, I do.
Wow, okay.
That's
In not the
interesting.
sort of metal that you're. I can't.
I can't.
There's a
But-
reason why I can't, but I can't.
Yeah, fair enough.
Okay.
Is it your own music?
No, ew!
Oh no,
Bro, I don't even have my music released for that to be on there. No, man, that's so weird.
That's so weird. I think it's a better musician's done that.
Yeah,
I
Drake
bet
definitely does.
Drake definitely.
100% guards player. 100%. He just sings it.
Is that whilst he flips it like he did in that fucking video?
I made a joke, but you just have to take it there, didn't you?
I do it every time. Anyway,
yeah.
back
Back
Moving forwards.
back to normal.
Yeah.
Any normal playlist?
I do. I mean, I have.
What does normal mean?
So I guess like my more normal playlist would be like literally just genres that you're probably more familiar with.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
like I have things like divided by genre. I also have stuff for different moods. You know,
I think
Yeah,
moods is
100%.
a big
I have
thing.
a playlist called Bad Bitches.
What's that?
That's just usually in my ears when I'm like walking about in London or something.
Strutting about.
Strutting about with my big boots. But yeah, it's just like I have some playlists where it's mixed of genres, some's divided by genre. There's some genres that you would have never heard of, I don't think, that I've got in
Want to
there.
try us?
Do you know a genre of music called psytrance?
Can't say I do. No.
No.
No, I would have been very surprised if you did.
What's that like?
Psytrance is like, it's quite in the EDM scene.
Okay. I like EDM.
It's like quite bassy, like a little bit drum and bassy at points.
Oh, okay.
I don't really know how to explain it, to be fair. So it's psychedelic trance is what it stands for, basically.
Yeah.
But there's quite a big scene for
I
it.
thought it was like science fiction trance or something.
No, you
I'm not
didn't.
doing very
No, you didn't. You did not think that, did you? You did not think that.
I'm tired.
Did you actually think that?
No.
In case they didn't pick up on the microphone because he keeps on leaning
No.
too far back.
Yeah,
He said he thought it was science fiction.
Not like
trance.
science fiction, but I didn't think
Science
psychedelic. I was like
fiction.
science. I was like, what was the psytrance?
Psytrance.
Psytrance.
Psychedelic.
Thank you. I know
Yeah.
now. Yeah, don't have to. Yeah, patronising. I think I did get it wrong. So that's
You did
actually,
get it entirely wrong.
Oh, well.
But okay.
Delete that.
I might. No.
I'm joking.
We don't edit this far into the podcast. Anyway, where was I at?
Playlist.
Normal other playlists. So, okay, so you got
Psytrance.
trance.
Yeah.
Any others?
Ooh, I do quite like hardcore music sometimes. Like hardcore is like, it's like quite heavy metal. Some people say it just sounds like noise. I have dubstep playlists as well. I mean, you know what dubstep
still
is.
about.
Yeah,
Dubstep's
it's still about. It's still about.
I saw it recently on. I think it was Instagram Reels.
Mm.
And it said like it was just like at an event, and it was like dubstep is back, and it was people going crazy.
I think that there's a scene in like every genre when you think about it. I guess how big the scene is does differ. Like trends do happen and stuff. But like I mean, with dubstep, there's an artist called Temanite who I have a connection to. He was at my uni, and
Okay.
I'm pretty sure he's still popping off in the dubstep scene.
Nice.
What
So-
uni did you go to?
I went to Leeds College of Music.
Oh, nice.
With my sister.
Cool. Oh.
Yeah,
That's how we know
that's
each
the
other.
connection.
Explains the link.
That explains the link.
Explains
Yeah.
why we're here today. Right, very
Yes,
good.
that
Love it.
explains. Yeah, probably because on some nights I've been drunk and gone to Anya. Anya, we gotta get you on the podcast.
Yeah, probably
pretty
happened
much.
a good 3 times at
Yeah.
least by now.
Yeah, he finally said yes to shut him up.
Pretty much. Pretty much. Or we got finally big enough for her to warrant it.
Oh.
Oh, no, I would have come on early as well. But to be fair, this is more beneficial for you guys now. So
Yes.
it's like I don't
It's
mean
true.
that. I don't
It's
mean
true.
it. I mean,
No,
I
it's
mean
so
it.
true.
I mean
No,
it
no,
purely
no.
in like a
No,
like
it's-
in a like strategy, like
Yeah,
marketing
yeah,
strategy
yeah.
way. It's more
Yeah.
beneficial
Oh,
now.
100%.
Yeah.
That's literally why we get the guests on. No offense to anyone else. That's.
I mean, well, that's how you should do it.
Yeah.
And like I have way more to talk about now. If you pulled me over a year ago, I would have been like,
I like music.
I like
That's a
music.
good song. That's not.
I have nothing released.
Well, have you got stuff coming up? If I'm not mistaken.
Yes, I do. So I have actually released music before,
Mhm.
but I got all of it removed because this was around the time I like just started writing and producing. But now, like, so I started working with another producer from my uni since last summer, and I feel like us together have literally like elevated each other's abilities. So we have hopefully four releases lined up for this year, all with music videos as well.
Yes, remember you telling me about that.
Yeah, it's been a lot of work. We haven't even filmed the first video. The songs are in a good place, but it's the videos which are like absolutely taking so much time and money to like arrange and film.
How are you getting that money? Because obviously it's not going to be cheap.
It's not cheap, but we are managing to budget okay at the moment.
Okay.
It's entirely out of my own pocket because I'm independent and I'm making a bit of money from content creation. Primarily, I'm freelance as freelance music. So like I make quite a bit of money from like recording my voice for other producers.
Okay.
So like a lot of producers can write really well and produce really well, but they don't have a voice for their tracks.
My sister's done something like that recently, I think.
Yeah.
And I was like, when I heard the amount that she was getting paid, obviously I'm going to say, for the amount of time that she spent in the studio, I was like,
session vocals.
I did not get the lucky genes here.
They pay bank.
They paid, but I was like, what? That's more than I earned in like. It was at the time. It was like more than I earned in like 3 weeks.
Damn.
Yeah, because it's like it's
Damn.
For about 2-3 hours of recording.
God, how much did she get paid for that?
We'll talk about it later.
Okay. That's mad.
Anyway, but yes.
But yeah, no, it's.
I wasn't earning a lot at that point. That's why.
Okay. I mean, they do pay bank.
Shift a week.
Maybe 2.
They I think the reason they pay good is because they're not just paying for your time, they're paying for your experience. So I think also I get paid quite a bit because I have, a home recording studio at home. It's like, I can do all of the recording from my room. I do the editing and fine tune the vocals as well before sending it off. So basically everything's ready to be produced and mixed. There's no, like, the hard work is done basically. The editing is what takes absolutely ages with vocals.
Editing takes ages.
So, but because I know what I'm doing and I work with my voice so frequently, I can just whiz through and get it done.
Oh, really?
So,
nice.
yeah.
That's pretty convenient.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's pretty useful skill as well, because if you can do every single stage of the process yourself, you won't, obviously there'll be a point where you won't have to, but if you can, it just saves you the time and it gets you like the ability to maybe pick and choose what you want to do later on, which gives you a bit more freedom.
It probably will also help in the future if you do end up obviously with a label. You will know what their process will be, so you can kind of work around that, help them. And it might streamline it all a lot easier, because I bet there's some artists who don't know kind of how the whole process works and will not necessarily do things which would benefit the whole.
Yeah, that's true, because I think there's no disrespect in this, but there are a lot of artists that are, they very much want to focus on just their thing of being the artist, and that's totally respectable. It makes sense. That's kind of what you're meant to be doing as the artist. But I think like now, because obviously it's way more difficult with labels and stuff like that, and a lot of people want to be independent, you kind of do need to learn the process. Like, even if you are working with a producer, you sort of need to know each step of, taking, writing something on guitar and writing some vocals and then having it as the fully produced thing. You kind of do need to know the full process of that now.
How long do you think it took you to really learn it all?
Oh gosh, I don't even feel like I'm there yet.
But like to this point.
Well, so I've been pretty speedy. I've not been doing music as long as some people have. I started doing music more seriously probably only since I've been 16, 17. So I'm 22 now. So like it's been like 5-6 years. I only really started writing probably about 4 years ago, and then doing production then as well at uni. So I'd say like it's taken like 4 years of like, writing a good few tracks every year and focusing on the full process to get to a point where like I now feel like I can comfortably make something professional, with the help of the producer that I'm working with.
Fair enough. I'm guessing there's a lot of trial and error.
Yeah, definitely. Like when I listen back to like the mixes of the stuff that I did from like first year, even second year, it's awful. It sounds fucking shit.
It probably wouldn't sound shit to us.
I don't think it would sound awful to you, but it's like because I know what I need to.
Yeah,
I know what I need to be looking out for. I think my voice as well, like my singing voice, has like tremendously improved the last like 4 years.
Does that change a lot? Your voice?
I think it depends from when you started singing. So for instance, like because I really only started singing properly when I was about 16, like my voice was still developing. So when I was recording stuff between like, 16 to like 18, 19, my voice was still maturing, and like it didn't have like the power and the depth that I wanted it to have. It took a really long time to like, it's like a muscle you're training, you're training that muscle. And, I honestly think only since the last year have I been like, I am actually genuinely happy where my voice is at now.
Nice.
So
I feel like I can relate not in the voice sense, because sound like a dying cat, but
the musical talent's over there.
yeah, they'll keep it over there.
Keep it over there,
But when so I make like short films, and like I've showed them to some people, and they're like, wow, this is so good. Like, they're not. And I'm like, so I made like the most recent one I made, I love it. Like, and I'm making one at the moment, and then, but like I can see what you mean. Like when you've like learned how to do the whole process, and you know every single in and out, and all the difficulties of it. If you yourself like weren't happy with it when it first came out, you can see the flaws in it. And it's very much like, it's kind of tricky to find the balance of being overcritical, even though it's actually, you're never where you want to be. You're always finding, like, you always go developing. So it's just part of the journey, isn't it? I suppose?
Yeah, no, it literally is that. And it's like, you do learn along the way. And I think, looking back on it, when I released my first tracks, I was still really proud of them at the time. I mean, I knew that they weren't where I wanted them to be, and I knew it would take time. But at the time of the release, I was like, yeah, this is the best thing I've put out. And then I look back on it and I'm like, whoa.
Yeah. But like, if you hadn't done that, you wouldn't be here. Like,
exactly.
That's
like, you just have to learn to embrace the process.
I think it's
of
the
it.
same with every kind of art to an
100%.
extent.
Every
art. And I'm not going to say, I mean, podcasting, you could say is an art, you could say it's not. When I look back at my podcast when I first 4 years ago compared to now, it's awful. But the thing is though, everyone also told me I was awful.
Did they? That's mean. You only just started out.
Yeah, but the boys will be like lads.
Boys will be boys. Yeah.
Right. No, it's not. I don't like that quote ever. But
yeah, no. But
yeah,
like, I mean,
I understand. But it is literally
in the context of
that,
what you're saying. It works, especially
it is
4
exactly
years
that.
ago. Like when like
yeah. But for the first time recently, I've actually started getting compliments on my interviewing technique.
Yeah.
But it's just weird because
isn't it?
He's doing good.
Yeah.
He's doing very good.
Fuck.
Leave a little Google review.
Yeah, like, five stars on Whelp. Yeah. But
very attentive host.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. But like singing, painting, filmmaking, playing the guitar, it's all. Well, that's because it's actually really leading on to what I wanted to ask you, just from a singer's point of view. And as we said, we can't sing. Right.
I can in the shower.
But I can physically sing, doesn't mean I can sing well.
Yeah, I'm not getting a record label.
Yeah. But do you think it's like the talent or nature question?
Oh, it's a
Could
good question.
Someone like Rue or me, if we started at like much younger and really, 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 really worked, even though our voices suck, could we be in your position if we started this, for example?
I do think so.
You think that we could?
I do think so, because I think that anyone can learn how to technically sing correctly and be in tune. The thing where the difference is that everyone has a unique tone. It literally comes down to like your biology of literally your vocal cords and your makeup. But I think that you don't know where your voice is going to get to until you're there. It's hard to say. Like, I think there's definitely a sense of natural ability for singers that can do, all like crazy runs and like
the opera singers.
Exactly. Like you do need to have some, I think, natural ability there in order to, if you take people that are really big singers, I don't know, take Ariana Grande or something, there's definitely a sense of natural ability there.
Yeah.
She can smash those high notes, and that I don't think that's been trained into. I think she could just.
I mean, I think she has been trained well.
No, of course. But I do think like that ability's like she would have figured out that she could do it. She didn't.
And then she made it. Then she made it better.
Exactly.
Yeah, exactly. Because I think like I'm sure I've seen a video of Ariana Grande singing when she was like 10 or 11 on YouTube at one point, and like it was still there.
Really?
She was still very, very, very good, and like you could tell that like she was going to be something big.
Yeah.
I think like, but the thing is, you never know where your voice is going to get to unless you try, and like I don't think that I'm the most vocally, like technique wise, the most amazing singer. I really don't think that at all. But I think like I've learned how to harness my voice and use it in the right ways. So like, because I do rock and metal, obviously, my voice is naturally quite low compared to other girls. And I started to realise the reason why what I was doing sounded so bad initially is because I kept trying to sing stuff like Ariana Grande's music. And I just sounded like a dying fox in the kitchen home alone. But yeah, so like as soon as
that would have been us too if we sung Ariana Grande. I think you'd have been a bit better than that.
I'll speak for yourself.
I've got some bad videos, to be fair, of when I was younger. So.
What I was going to say on that note, like, so how you've spoken about how you obviously initially tried to sing a certain way, and you've now like developed and changed. But like, do you think that? I don't know how to articulate this, but do you think that your music has changed more because of what is out of your hands, or do you think because of like a choice? Does that make sense?
Ooh,
so it's like your voice has changed, and you can train it as much as you can, but also like you said it yourself, you can't change like your physical voice box. And how it's made up. So like, have you sort of gone, well, my voice is changing like this. I do what I can with it, but I think it's better suits this music.
I think yeah, that makes sense. I think I've been quite lucky in the sense that I have always liked rock music and I've always liked, pop and electronic music, and my music is a fusion of those two things, and my voice does naturally sit well in that fusion because I'm not like a crazy like really raspy rock singer, but at the same time I'm not like I'm definitely nowhere near Ariana Grande. So it's like because I naturally sit there, I've been quite lucky that actually I've found a blend of my musical inspirations which also work with my voice. So I guess it's a process of like figuring that out. Part of it is just the nature of how I am and how my voice is, and part of it is also music I've grown up on and stuff like that.
Yeah. So you develop what you develop what you can, and where you can't, you just move on from it and change it. Yeah, that's fair. Well, that's
a really interesting way of looking at music. To an extent, as like pushing for your strengths, not
literally. Because I mean, again, it's like it's just relating to the arts, not necessarily music itself. But when I'm like writing something, there are things that I'm so I like to write, just for context. Like it's a hobby of mine. And when I'm trying to write something, it's like it's very easy for me to put myself and imagine it. I've a very vivid like imagination, but sometimes I'm like, oh, that sounds really cool. But just the way that I write and the way that I think, I can't translate it properly. So I'm like, I've got to edit that a little bit, and that's not really in my control. But eventually, like, you can develop an imagination, you can develop creativity. That's why I like watching loads of films. It helps me because I can get loads of different perspectives.
Yeah, so that makes sense.
I feel like it relates in the same way because you know what you can do and you know what you want to do. But you combine the two to make the best possible outcome for you.
It is that really. It is literally working with your strengths and just adapting.
And with the writing as well, writing your own music, do you take inspiration from other artists, or is a lot of what you have kind of come from within?
I think that when I initially started writing, I definitely took more just from what was within, like I wouldn't listen to any references. Like I listened to a lot of music in general, and I'm sure that like subconsciously it must have played a part in it. But like I would never listen to a reference or try to recreate something that was already there. I would just literally sit down with guitar or piano and just kind of go with wherever the music's going. But I think since like I've been, trying to become more established as an artist, you do obviously have to kind of find your niche and your route with your sound, and then taking references just for like inspiration of like, what instruments work well together, like in terms of literal live instruments, also electronic instruments. That's been really hard putting the two together.
And this is all whilst also learning how to use social media and...
Yes.
God, you must be busy.
Jesus. I mean, it did help. It did help that at uni, because I did music production, I was writing and producing for my assignments. So that was like my full-time, being a student. And then outside of that, I was working a little bit and then also working on the social media. So it kind of all tied in. Yeah. So
you kind of almost were forced to get better at the writing and the producing due to your degree anyway.
I think so.
And then it kind of allowed you to have that time on the side to do your social media and all that stuff.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I'm not going to lie, I don't even feel like I was like super focused at uni. Some people think that I was, but bro, I
can relate.
I don't think I was that focused personally.
I did civil engineering, and look at me now.
Every time you say that, I always forget. I'm like, that's such an intense degree.
Yeah.
God.
I'm a qualified civil engineer, baby.
This is news to me.
Is that news? I was at Swansea.
What did you get?
I didn't realise that's what you were studying.
Yeah.
Was it
Tutu?
Was it Desmond?
What?
Desmond Tutu?
Oh, for fuck's sake.
That's what they call it.
I know, I know, but I can't believe I just...
You forgot?
Yeah.
Oh, valid. Okay, sorry. I thought you had...
Yeah, I got a Tutu.
Yeah.
I just... Because I didn't enjoy it.
No, you have to justify it. Like again.
No, but I think
some degrees are just
I do think that sometimes, and it's why when I came out of it.
You're not very bright either, are you? So
clearly I am. Maths, physics, and DT at L, dickhead.
DT.
Yeah.
So you maths and physics.
I created.
So I did drama.
Yeah, you. Yeah. What are you talking about?
Like, what's that?
Drama's worse than doing DT. At least I made stuff. At least I did something physical.
Yeah, I acted.
Sorry.
Pause.
Pause.
Like,
Oh boy.
like,
Who is it? Who is the guy on TikTok
Maybe a bit distracted here.
who does the
Bach.
the drama? No, Italian Batch as well. They do a podcast together. Oh, this is actually gonna. You guys talk. I'm gonna figure this out.
I actually had. So I keep backtracking, but you mentioned that little video of Ariana Grande, how she still sounds like she's got it. I don't know if you've seen this, but on a talk show, I think it was a Jonathan Ross show. Ed Sheeran was. I can't remember the context behind it, but they were just talking about his early career, and Jonathan Ross basically asked, "Have you had this voice your whole life, or have you developed it?" And Ed just goes, "Yeah, I've definitely not had this my whole life." And he gets up a voice note from his phone, and he plays it. I think it's like a Christmas. He must have been like 10 years old, and it was quite funny because they were playing. It's like, "Oh, this is the world's first, everybody," and they clipped it, and it's just like Ed literally being like, "Ah." And it's just like, and he's like, and I was like, even I could do better than that.
Yeah.
And it just shows it's like it's really interesting how he can go from like that's bad. Like there's no
I don't know
like
if I've
no
seen
skill there at all.
I don't know if I've seen the specific clip that you've shown me, but sorry, that you were talking about.
Yeah.
But like I have heard him singing in those earlier times because he's definitely spoken about it a few times.
Yeah, I think he's quite honest about it. It's kind of nice. It's like
I think
nice, it's refreshing to hear.
Yeah, exactly.
Artists like actually have some modesty. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure. So I think it is interesting. I think it does go to show that like so there are people that they kind of literally come to earth with the talent there. I mean, it doesn't mean they don't work on it and exceed that, but it's if you heard some of the videos from me earlier when I was younger, even from when I was 16, there's some stuff where I'm like, woo.
Well, that's the thing is I'm sure there's like, I mean, I don't know if this is like a bit of a random statement, but I'm sure that of like the top 10 singers of all time, probably one of those people isn't famous and has never made a song, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Say again?
I'm saying that, like, let's say you got like the top 10 singers of all time.
Yeah.
One of them is probably not famous. Is probably
Is
never
it
made
like
a
if you would
it's probably
actually
just a
be able to
random
rank
bloke.
them on
Yeah,
level of
literally.
seeing?
So
Okay.
I'm saying like, yeah, you can train. Like some people are predisposed. Like I'm rubbish at football, but like you could train me up eventually, and I'd be pretty decent. It's the same, and like some people are naturally better, and it takes less time to train. But it's still very much like a doable thing. Nothing's like out of the question. You know what I mean?
I don't think we'll ever be one of the top 10 singers, to be honest, Rue.
I don't think I'm going to be a top 10 footballer either. To be honest,
I think
left
there's
feet,
more.
It was Jack Joseph.
might play better than England yesterday.
Oh yeah.
It was Jack Joseph.
Jack Joseph, you have to remind me, to be honest with you. I don't mind if you get phone out, it's no problem.
Sorry, this is just such a tangent, but it's the
What were we even talking about? I forgot.
drama, GCSE drama.
Oh yeah, for God's
It's
sake,
like-
I did GCSE drama as well.
Like
Actually.
it's the
Pause. Oh, it's this.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. I remember. Yeah,
sorry,
Yeah.
I just in my head.
and then it's like,
I did drama GCSE as well.
drugs.
Yeah, it's like he had his first
It's
cigarette.
it's like Jonah Hill slam poetry in 22 Jump Street.
Yes.
Yelling.
Yes.
I love that. Great fun.
Another movie reference. Oh well.
Yeah.
Bliminic.
Did
No.
you get it?
No, I did not. It went straight over my head.
Ah.
You know the film where it's like, my name's Jeff.
Yeah,
Yeah.
of course.
There you
Yeah.
go.
Done. Bosh.
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 Drama GCSE was a mistake.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
It was.
It was absolutely a mistake, and
Oh,
I was stuck in a group of it's not that I disliked the people there, it's just we were just very different people. I managed to get pushed into being the role of a girl that was obsessed with horses, and they had me with like a fucking horse hat, like I don't know what they're called, like one of those like
helmets,
one of the helmets on.
It's just a cap.
Have you
like,
seen the
right.
videos of the
so
the
weird.
fake horse riders who have like fake horses between their legs, and it's like an actual event, and they're just basically doing.
Oh my God, I think I have seen
They're actually
that.
doing horse like show riding.
This is new to me. I should know.
They're
this
doing
as well.
horse show riding, but without the fucking horses. and like there's a
Are they
video.
running around? Like
They're like prancing around and doing like all the jumps and stuff.
Mate,
And like I saw a video of this girl afterwards. She was like, apparently she was like, it's so exhausting being whatever this event is.
grow
Go
up.
Like that's right, really weird on camera, but
Yeah. So, can you
Clip that,
please just
clip
clip
that.
that? Just
Yeah.
that. Get rid of the conversation before. Just him doing exactly what he just did.
please don't do that. But yeah,
Do
like
it.
have you seen those videos? It's so.
I
No,
think
I
I have.
have
I
not.
think it's come up in my feed because it's
What
definitely
are you
rung a
guys
bell.
watching? Like,
I don't know.
Ellis sends it to me, bro.
Don't ask. The algorithm sends you weird stuff sometimes.
yeah. It's
Yeah.
yeah.
Mine's just not horsey, fake horses.
horsey fake
It's
horses.
it's just Ryan Gosling edits.
So you basically just
Just edits of myself.
Ryan or Ryan.
Right.
Nice.
What?
Ryan Gosling and Ryan Reynolds.
Yeah, I'm joking.
Yeah,
oh
yeah.
yeah, Ryan. Right.
Ryan or
ooh.
Ryan.
Ryan.
Which one? You can't pick.
I have to pick.
You have to pick between Reynolds and
How did we
we'll,
get
we'll
onto
both do this.
All right. Yeah. Ryan Gosling or Ryan Reynolds.
I don't know, just a bit of fun.
I think I'd be better mates with Reynolds.
But I'm not talking in a mate's way.
Oh. How did I not get that? Oh, Reynolds.
Reynolds.
Yeah.
Still Reynolds, I think. I think I'd probably go
Reynolds.
Reynolds.
I'm trying to visualize right now. Probably the same.
I'd probably go on a date with Gosling. No. Can't we have both?
Bit greedy.
Yeah. It's Hollywood, baby.
Oh god.
Dreadful joke.
I do sometimes wonder where these podcasts go.
It's fine. We can let that one joke. Don't cancel me.
Sorry. I mean, I think that's what we actually have time for. I kind of wanted to finish on a bit of a funny one.
Yeah.
Just us being idiots.
Yeah.
That usually works.
That tends to be the case.
Yeah.
Do you want to, obviously, do you want to shout out any future projects just to our audience, or your probably most likely your audience watching our podcast? Just
All 3 million of them.
Stop.
Absolutely
not.
I'm joking.
Absolutely not.
I'd fucking take that on YouTube. 3 million views would be nuts.
YouTube
the
would be
clip of you going-
crazy. YouTube would be crazy.
By YouTube video
Yeah,
with
YouTube
3
with
million.
Yeah, that
would
would
be
be nuts. That would come up on the trending.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Damn.
That'd be ridiculous. And we're getting paid now from ads, so
Let's
that'd be
make
even
it
better.
happen.
That would be even better.
Flip
wow.
the neck,
But anyway,
man.
do you want to camera one? Yep. Look at that camera.
Yeah,
anything you
sure.
wanna
So I
shout?
guess so I will be releasing music from later this year. So my artist name is Anya Jasmine. You can find me online under Anya J Music on Instagram and TikTok. Everything will be updated on there.
Perfect. Well, thank you very much, guys,
Yeah.
for watching. Subscribe if you're new around here. Like the video if you enjoyed it. Check out Anya, and we'll see you with another podcast very soon. Cheers, guys.